Oh, hi. Listen, we're going to take a quick run over to fill up one of our 30-pound propane bottles, and I need to stop by Ace RV Supply. Hope you get it. And then we're going to pick up a few other odds and ends and head back to the rig. If you guys want, come on along. Should be more than just a few minutes. Okay, that should do it. We've got the bottles filled up, everything's put back in place. Now let's go inside and finish editing this video. Hi, we're back in Apache Junction, Arizona again, but I wanted to give you the 411 on our trip up north. I'm Chris, Shelly, my wife, and our little one Grizz are back in the RV relaxing. If you'll remember back to our last video, we were getting ready to make the 3-hour drive to Cottonwood. More precisely, the Verde Valley RV Resort. It's a Thousand Trails park. We'll leave a link to that video up here and a card at the end of this video just in case you wanted to catch up on our current events. Just so you knew, we stayed in one of the large and level 50 amp full hookup sites with a great view and good cell coverage.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait.
These would be alongside the main road in the park and our new additions. Very nice, massive sites. In fact, the site was so level we only lowered the jacks to provide stability. No other tweaking needed, so we didn't even disconnect, just hooked up power. The next day we rose early to a crispy and beautiful morning, retracted our shoreline, that's the power cord, and drove the next hour to Prescott Valley's Affinity RV for the evaluation. They kept the rig for close to 5 hours while we drove around oogling all kinds of new and used RVs at nearby dealers. About 5 hours later, around 2 p.m., we got the call to come and retrieve our Solitude. When we got there, the nice guy at the counter told us what we pretty much already knew, but did affirm that the axles were still good. Yeah, the suspension was shot and needed replacing. They would contact Grand Design with the information and see what they were willing to do. They also had a few other options that they would deploy if needed. So just before driving out of town, that's Prescott Valley, we stopped at a little dealer, if you get it, to have one last look at the rigs there. Then back to Verde Valley. It was so nice and peaceful there, we extended for another night and didn't leave till Saturday to do another 3 weeks at a park in the valley while waiting for word about who was going to cover the repairs and how long it would take to source the parts and reschedule a service appointment. Now before leaving, take a look at the view here in Cottonwood. These sites are humongous.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there.
Every morning, Grizz and I would head out on the local trails so he could check his D-mail. And you know what?
Today he became a little man.
Well, kind of. Well, let's just say he, for the first time, left a D-mail reply. They grow up so fast. What's a father to do?
Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there. 7 years now on this boat, and we are just wait.
Now, for kind of a quick flashback to when we bought our current rig, Beauty. One of the items on our punch list for the dealer to repair was the handrail going to the bath and bedroom at the front of the rig. The screws that hold it to the wall had worked a little loose. Easy fix, right? Well, they had reassured us that everything was taken care of. Yeah, it seems that the lower handrail mount had cracked and needed to be replaced. No problem, right? Just remove a few screws and replace it with an identical one from Grand Design. Grand Design sent us a new one really quickly. Now, remember, nothing is as easy as it appears. It seems that the dealer replaced the screws with pop rivets, which would now have to be drilled out. What a pain in the arse. I am sure glad that Chuck's got a rivet gun that I can borrow. It is an adventure, right? Oh yeah, we just saw this while fueling up on the trip back to the valley. It would be funnier if it wasn't for the spike in fuel costs.
Soon we'll be there. Now on this boat.
I guess it's a good thing that we're not doing any large trips while fuel costs are up. Maybe they'll come back down some by the time we get all of this sorted out.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there.
Thank you guys very, very much. Great spaces all the time. We'll see you again in a few weeks. After a refreshing stay in the Verde Valley, we packed up and headed back to the oven, what locals call Phoenix. The drive was uneventful and pleasant, but you could feel that summer was coming the further south we drove. Our 1,000 Trails membership does make stays so much easier. 3 weeks at a time in Encore parks without having to be out of the system for a week. Just park to park, no hassles.
Now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there. Hold on tight. I can smell the shore. It's right in front of us if we just hold on tight.
We'll fill you in as we learn more about the rig. Sure hope you all are getting everything taken care of right now as well, because there is still so much more to see and experience out there. Till next week, please, travel safe. Bye.
Just keep on believing. We are dreamers.